Hey everybody, it's Cameron Time. I'm going to show you how to use a rotating gradient border as a filter in OBS and stuff. The whole webcam border meta has been done to death, so I figured I'd continue to beat the dead horse. However, this iteration changes things a lot. This filter actually has a bit of a backstory. I started creating this in a shader myself when I was trying to solve an issue where I needed a border to stay constrained on a source regardless of what size it was and what aspect ratio it was, especially if it was changing in animations. And trying to do that with an external source was not going to cut it. So as I started building the shader myself, I realized very quickly I had no idea what I was doing. So I did what anybody else would do in this scenario. Call Exeldro. So he breathed his magic air into the shader, and then it worked. So just to preface, if you haven't downloaded Shaderfilter before, or you haven't updated it in a while, use the link in the description to go directly to Exeldro's repository. He actually snuck this shader that he helped me with into his official release in Shaderfilter, just like I snuck this subscribe button in the screen. I actually had no idea he put it there until recently. So when you click the link, you'll be taken to this download page, and just download the one that's for your operating system. For example, if you're on a PC, download the Windows installer for Windows. Just make sure OBS is closed when you run the install. Once it's done, we can go right into OBS, and we're going to right click on the source that we want to add our filter to. We go to filters, and then we add a user-defined shader. And once we add it, we check the load shader text from file. And if we hit browse, it'll take us right to our examples folder, so we can scroll down. And we're going to see this one right here, the rounded stroke gradient. We're going to go ahead and open that. And then we're going to get a bunch of extra parameters here. So it looks like nothing's happened so far, but if we change our corner radius to 100, we can already see we have rounded corners on the edge. And if we start increasing our border thickness, we can see our border starts to show up. I'm going to make it extra thick so that we can extra see it. And now we notice we have two different colors here. And so if we select one, I'm just going to make it black. Now you can see we have some sort of gradient already present. And if we change our rotation speed, we can see it rotates like a gradient filter. I can make it really fast. I don't know why you would want it to go this fast, but you can. And then we have a couple extra little parameters here which you can play around with, the center width and height. Basically, you want to keep those at 50 at pretty much all times. This just tells the filter where exactly the center of this rotating gradient circle is. As of right now, it's right here in the middle. 0 to 100 will go from either left to right or top to bottom. And we can see that actively here. If I set this to 0, this is where that circle starts here. If I set height to 0, you can see it goes up to here. If I set width to 50 and height to 0, it sets it to there. Now, the really cool part about this is if I added a crop to this, and let's say I wanted to crop 500 pixels, you can see that the border actually constrains to whatever you change that crop to, as long as the crop is above the border filter. We can also use move transition to dynamically change the color or any other parameter within that shader. And I can actively show this here. If I go to move value, add a move value, I'll change it to the shader. And then I have access to every single parameter within that shader. I can change border color L, and I can say, let's just change it to green. And then I can have it start when enabled, take about a second to change. And if I turn this on, it dynamically changes the black to green. This makes animating webcam borders significantly easier than it ever has been. And you can dynamically change webcam borders, say if somebody subs or donates bits or does anything else on your stream, like redeem channel points. You could even have chat choose the color to transition to if you wanted. All in all, this has so many different use cases, but now you don't have to create a separate media source for every single instance of a webcam color or border that you want to include. I would love to see the kinds of things you guys do with these types of filters, so if you would, please leave a comment down below. And also don't forget to follow me on both of the Twitch channels I stream to, my personal one right here, because there's a lower third, I'm sure, animating that I'll probably put there. And also on the Stream 6 channel, where I stream every Monday and Wednesday morning starting at 9 a.m. Eastern time. I'm going to be putting out OBS and DaVinci Resolve content more consistently now. So if you have specific questions on either of those things that you want to see answered in a future video, please let me know that as well. And once again, click the ding button that sends notifications so you get notified. And then watch this video where I talk about using waveforms and vector scopes in OBS because it's a really cool thing to have. Watch it, because I'm signing out. If you stayed to the very, very end,